at it again. Woo! Back at it again, baby. Telling you, I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling it just a little bit. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the pregame show. By Fubo TV, where you can screw Comcast out of Denver.
Yeah, dude.
That's the official slogan of Fubo TV.
Yeah,
screw
dude.
them out of Denver, man.
Yeah. Screw Comcast.
Screw Comcast, man.
Xfinity. What are you doing?
Lakers ass company. We got a great show for you tonight because game one was one of the best days of our lives. You remember when you declared that?
Yeah, dude. I literally, every day since then, I've been on the steady decline.
What if game two is even better?
First off, not possible.
Probably not.
Be.
Could be, though. It could be.
2-0 is better than 1-0.
If they can get there, knock on wood. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to look at the expected adjustments for the Phoenix Suns this game. I got a lot of notes on that. I'm also going to ask a question, guys. All the glamour markets are still in. 7 of them. Glamour markets. Superstars. You know, ESPN favorites. And then there's one team that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb amongst all of them. Are they the people's team? We'll talk about all of that. Help me do that. I got Brendan Vogt.
What's up, fellas? I've been ready for this one. I had a smoothie today, did some push-ups, couple crunchies. And as far as I can tell, Philly's still in this game.
Over under like 15 push-ups. What do you guys take in?
Oh, well under.
Well under, but like he just pushed up
What's
off the
up,
ground.
Dev? What's up, Dev?
I'm actually surprised that there was an S at the end of push-up.
I think you'll get, I say 20.
17.
I say
17 push-ups?
30.
Oh, let's go over here. And then over here, freezing cold, it's D-line.
Guys, nothing colder than that lie that Brendan just told about his personal fitness. I'm ready for tonight. I could use a smoothie myself, but I'm ready to go. Let's go.
And then on the far end, the man that's going to make us all rich, Superstar Dev.
First off, very, very happy today. They're building a Smoothie King right next to my house. I'm going to do my thing.
You're gonna, what are you going to go in there? If Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson can be looked at as body models.
Are they Smoothie guys?
Smoothie King Center. That's
There's nothing better than when, like, if there's a new building going up and you spend like 4 months being like, what could it be? What could it be? And then it's like, nail
it's a
salon.
Verizon store.
Come on. Yeah, Verizon. You're like, gosh, dang it. Smoothie King, there you go.
It's a dub.
All right, guys, game two. We're getting ready for it. Brendan Vogt, what did Michael Malone have to prepare us all emotionally for it?
Well, it's going to be a different game. He knows that. They expect not only different results, but maybe some adjustments. His biggest concern heading into game two, defending the Suns in transition. He thinks they'll try and run more. And he said, we have to have our track shoes on tonight.
So I got to be honest about this. Haven't seen this quote. The Suns were dog tired at the end of that game, that last game, because they don't go to the bench. Their players play the entire time. Part of me goes like, really? They're going to up the intensity? I mean, look, it's going to be hard for Denver, and I understand the idea of you need to get back in transition. The Suns running for 48 minutes would shock me.
They might have to try to do it, though, you know? I mean, they didn't have quite enough success in the half court, at least generating threes. Bit of a math problem. We'll get to that later. But he did reference 2 main examples of Kevin Durant and Booker going coast to coast and getting to the rim. And even he said there were a couple examples in the half court. You know, that's going to happen, but they want to try to shut those off, make them work for it. One shot they did give a lot up of was the DeAndre Ayton mid-range kind of floater area.
I remember that.
And obviously the tough mid-rangers that they tried their very best to force KD and Booker into. If they're trying to beat us with tough twos in the long run, though, Malone said, we feel like that's something we can live with. It is the big story after game one. Phoenix had a math problem. They shot the ball well. Their stars played well. They didn't generate a lot of threes. Denver shot the three ball well. So it's just...
I feel like that was one of the storylines, man. I almost feel like it got reduced to that a little bit.
It completely did.
No, I'm saying it clearly is a big piece of this, but I don't know if it's the big piece. It's one of them.
It's a piece. And so the Ayton shots are something they're going to keep an eye on. You know, it feels like that's something they have to keep an eye on in this series. But again, they like the way that math shakes out. Monty Williams also spoke on the decision to start Josh Okogie versus the Nuggets. And he talked about Okogie's defense on Normal Powell, in their series against the Clippers. And he said, that kind of player is somewhat similar to Jamal, even though Jamal is all world.
Norman Powell.
And then he's in the NBA?
Yeah, that's one thing that's similar. He is more similar than like me or you.
How can you have watched what Murray has done And I'm sure it was an accident. Hang on. And give him bulletin board material. I'm sure it was an accident.
I know that is actually. Murray is really good at the bullet board.
You don't need to give him bulletin board stuff. That's all I'm saying.
You know what, man?
Good no call.
Good. Shut up. I will say, foul on Monty Williams. Mistake, I think. Clearly, Jamal Murray is a different caliber player. But this is one of the hidden benefits of Murray just not being that great in the regular season. Everyone's like,
true.
you know what? He's kind of like insert some scrub. And you're like, come on,
But
man.
they just have no idea. Yeah, they're just like, oh, he reminds me a lot of Reggie Miller. I don't know. It's like, just have no idea.
Because he shoots threes? Or
Yeah, he's a lot like Shea because they're from Canada. Dude, we have no idea. Couldn't find any tape on the Nuggets.
How offended does Jamal Murray need to be by this, Dev?
Well, the fact that he takes everything personal, I think that he should be very, very offended. Also, he's comparing himself to Devin Booker's and Shea. Not no damn normal power. So that's like a slap in the face. I think he's gonna take it as a Canadian slap.
Oh,
Canadian slap.
holy smokes.
Is that like a caress? We're
I
making
know,
fun
it's
of
just,
Canadians.
it's just there's gravy on your hand first.
By the way, Murray got a question in these playoffs about Canadian beef being gentler than American beef. He didn't really speak on it.
Wait, what?
But I think he hated it. I really think he hated the implication.
You don't think that Jamal wanted to talk about Canadian bacon in the middle of a playoff?
Canadian bacon?
He's saying, I'm just saying the idea that Canadians are really nice people, I don't think Jamal wants anything to do with that.
The thing is
He's the
that
least Canadian.
no,
ever.
you know what it is that Canada is an enormous country
Sure.
that spans wide regions, and
Gotcha.
most of the people are from Toronto, which I
Yep.
feel like is New York.
Except for it's
Well, it's Toronto, but it's
Soft York.
Canadian, sure.
Soft New York.
But I'm saying it's different than Saskatoon, where Trey Lyles is from. Those are completely different
yes,
cultures.
That's true.
I've only been to Saskatoon, by the way. I've never been to Toronto.
about
so
Trey
I'm only
Lyles, by the
speaking on
way?
reputation.
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon. Went fishing there one time as a wee lad.
You've never been to Banff?
I've never been to Banff, though. I've been to Saskatoon. Really good fishing. You really get a lot of pike up there.
I'm sure that you
Record
do.
pikes. You got any more for us?
That's it for game notes, fellas. I'm going to keep an eye out to see if those Suns starters change at all. But I haven't seen anything so far.
Well, that brings us to our second segment here, which are expected adjustments here. And I want to give mine at the end. If there's any left over, you guys can add the ones that you have. The first thing you want to look is, are they going with a different lineup? I suspect that Torrey Craig will start tonight. I don't know if it's come out tonight. I think it's the best bet for them is to start Torrey Craig.
Yeah.
He's longer. He did a better job, I thought, of fighting through screens in game one, albeit nobody did a good job. But I thought he did a better job. And to me, Okogie was like a complete non-factor. I mean, Denver kept screening him off, but even when they didn't, Murray still killed him. So to me, that's the first adjustment. What do you think, Dev?
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to make that change because they're just going to want to see if they could do it again. Also, they made that decision going into it. And neither one of them played well on him last time. I do think that that would be a smart one just to try to give some length, just to try to give some familiarity because this is a guy that has had to play with Jamal. But I don't think that they go to it this early. I think that they'll try to see one more game of Okogie.
Yeah, apparently, according to Blackburn, that Okogie is starting.
I love it. It would be hilarious if this is like Mike D'Antoni-esque to be like, we lost by 30, but no adjustments. We just need to play harder.
I love that too.
Play our game.
We got to run more and play harder. Be locked in.
And some of this is true, man. I will say of game one, I just think Denver, it meant a lot more than it did to Phoenix. And in part because I think Phoenix is a little cocky and was just like, we don't need, this is their Super Bowl. But to us, it's like a warm up. And it's like, nope, this is going to be your Super Bowl too. But nonetheless, I'm a little surprised that Okogie is going to get to go there. The other thing is more threes. Obviously, you talked about the math problem. By the way, I'm so annoyed of math problem as a phrase already.
Yeah.
And this is why I wanted to push back in part because I actually think there is some truth to there's other things going on in the series. Every national podcast, if you guys listen to them today, spent roughly 45 seconds on the Nuggets Sun series. And all of them were just like, it's just a math problem at the end of the day.
know.
There's nothing else going on.
It's a make or miss league.
Because it really is a
Game of runs.
It's a shortcut from there to, the Suns had the more talented players. They just had a math problem. It wasn't, the players outplayed them.
But they had a math.
But they had a math problem, and it's just like, my God, man, what are we doing here?
I hate sports cliche.
I really do. You could just tell from listening to it that everybody watched the Nuggets Suns game with one eye while they watched anything.
Yeah, and then they
else.
heard what other people who were watching it said about it.
Math problem. And they're just like,
But this is why I like the Malone quote. the math problem didn't just happen.
Of course.
Right. Denver, this is part of the game plan. They're content with this. You look at what they tried to take away, what they were content to live with, how a lot of that, is stuff they can get to organically just with this matchup. I think so. The math problem is part of the story, but Denver's playing that game, and they won it in
the math problem is that the Nuggets have 8 good players, and the Suns have 2.
4. I think 4.
Okay.
Also, I'm horrible at math, so I'm down to move
Let's make this an effort, Nuggets Nation. Let's rebrand math problem to something cooler, because it sucks to be like, well, Denver's just the best math team out there. Like, how could we rebrand this? So what's the cool thing?
They're analytic geniuses.
We'll just put a Z at the end of math problems. And you put a Z on anything, it becomes cool.
I'm saying, is there no way to rebrand the advantage Denver has because they have
Math
a more
problems.
balanced,
Denver's more robust offense.
more robust?
Yeah.
You could say more dynamic. They have a dynamic problem. The Suns, they just score one way, mid-range pull-ups. Denver, though, everything. They're just more dynamic.
They have a team.
They have a team, I guess. The other adjustment, I think, so we heard him say play faster in transition. I think they're going to try to run. I do think that it's a fine line to walk for Phoenix of like, hey, we're going to play faster, but maybe be more tired. But I do think that they need to play faster in isolation. I made an episode of The List on YouTube. You can check it out, or at the DNVR.com. But one of the things I pointed out was how Denver was not allowing players to be ISO'd against KD and Devin Booker. They would send a double, but they often would wait until the player started dribbling or late in the shot clock, and then the double would come. One of the things is that Booker and Kevin Durant love playing pickup style ISO ball. You know this, Dev. There's a type of guy that just loves to play like, pass it to me, everyone clear. I hold it for 5 seconds. I dribble 3 crossovers, and then I go. And Denver's not allowing them to do that. I think one of the adjustments they need to make is you catch the ball and you have an ISO, go. Don't wait for the double team. Try to break them down right away, and I expect them to do that. So in that way, they'll play faster, but I don't know if there's necessarily transition.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of that goes to why the Suns only had like 80 shots and Denver had like 100 plus. That's just because they want to just get that slow, uncalculated basketball that's just not going to work on a team that is making adjustments, that does have the personnel to make those type of switches, and is okay having their guards be matched up with bigs. I think that is really throwing a wrench in their game plan. Is they're just assuming that they were going to get a big on them and it was just going to be easy. But things are not sweet for Denver. They have the personnel to just actually change that. And I do think that they're going to give that a try to just make it quicker so Denver is not able to make those switches, or at least try to, find that mismatch earlier.
Then I also think there's a chance, as Philadelphia pulls ahead by 1 with 30 seconds to go. I also think that they don't concede the switch as easily. In that first game, they really just were happy to switch every screen on Murray, and Murray cooked Landry Shamet. He cooked Chris Paul. He cooked a lot of guys. I mean, as much as he also cooked Okogie and Torrey Craig, it's still you want to put your best matchup on him, and I expect him to do that. Is there any others you think Phoenix adjusts, Dev?
I don't think that they're going to try to go straight through Ayton in the same ways that they did. I think that they saw the success that Minnesota had of just getting into the paint. That's where the math problem comes into play. Is just
the dynamic problem.
Yeah, the dynamic problem is just trying to go inside and trying to abuse them inside. So I do think that you'll see a more balanced approach where they're getting up shots in transition. They're trying to get up 3-point shots and making that an emphasis because they see that it is not successful to just do straight layups the entire time.
Is there anything else you think, D-line?
I mean, you talking offensively specifically?
Any adjustments? I mean, anything they're going to try to do to make it life harder on Denver?
They're probably going to try to neutralize Jamal Murray. They're going to do their best to probably send doubles at him. They're probably going to that was very damaging to what he was able to do to them. So we'll see if it's Torrey Craig or Josh Okogie who's on him most of the time. But I imagine like in their playbook, they're like, we can't let Jamal beat us again, which is great because then Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon could beat them this time. But I have a hard time imagining that they'll let him go off with such ease.
I think the two for Denver, finishing in the paint. Denver, for all the rebounds they grabbed, for how much they lived in the paint, they didn't finish very well. And I think that's one area. I mean, that's not really an adjustment. It's more of a, hey, you just need to be better. Like some of those other buckets probably go away a little bit, but you got to make up for it there. And then I think more Christian Braun. He was really impactful in that second half. Really impactful. And I just wonder if he's one of the best defenders for KD on the team. He's a really good help side defender. He's a very good defender on Christian Braun. I wouldn't be surprised if his minutes kind of bump up a little bit here, especially this being the second game in 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that game, he missed on a lot of opportunities. He got all those steals, then he was 0 for 5, couple turnovers. So he ends up -7. But I think you expect some of that stuff to sort of work out in his favor more. He checked his to-do list with the play good defense, make an impact on the glass. I think he's a good option in this series. So he's a guy that he could play more. I know we're about to go to Nuggets, so I just wanted to squeeze in. I know from the Phoenix side, one more thought is to play campaign more. They're looking maybe to get another playmaker in the lineup.
To me, that's a little wild.
Me too, though. I just wanted to follow that up by saying that's a good spot to be in if you're Denver.
Right.
If the conversation is like more Torrey Craig, more campaign, like that's a good spot to be in.
I mean, I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm right about this. Oh, my God. I hope I'm right about this, but I feel like Campaign is a little bit more of an 82-game player than a 16.
Yeah.
And that, like, he's a guy that can be, you hate him, and he can be totally annoying in an easy game. I just think that, it's the playoffs, man. I'm not sure he's going to be any effective at all on defense. The one pick and roll he guarded in game 1, Bruce Brown got a layup on him.
Yeah.
A layup.
Yeah.
Like, pushed him to the side and then just went, whoop.
It is kind of wild that they're clamoring for him, too. He only played like 6 minutes in that game. And he also was a negative, like in those small minutes. Also, it wasn't really just a guard problem. It was a Suns problem. Nothing worked for them, at all.
That's true.
So I don't see how you look at, that bench guy and says, this is where it went wrong. Shamit, that was a problem. That was definitely a problem. So I think that you just want anything that's not him.
Yeah.
So that's why I think you go after a campaign.
Let's move on now and talk about the teams remaining in the NBA playoffs. Let's start here. You got the New York Knicks, arguably the biggest team in all of the NBA in terms of fan base and following and just the way the media really
big
wants
market
them to be good.
yeah.
Big market
BMM.
Knicks. You got the Miami Heat, who are the most glamorous market outside the Lakers. South Beach.
Welcome to
sexy.
Miami.
Welcome to
Poppy.
Miami. Everybody loves Miami. I mean, Stephen A. every year is like, I hope Miami goes to the finals because I want to be in South Beach. I don't want to be in Minnesota or whatever.
Yeah.
You've also got Philadelphia and Boston, two East Coast big market. Everybody comes from there. In the media and wants to cheer them along. And then you've got
Oh my God.
And then you've got on the other end, you got Lakers and you got Warriors, by far the biggest series. And then you've got the Suns, Nuggets, and Suns even though they're not the typical glam market, they do have Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and all the storylines. I don't have anybody's attention. I'll just talk to you guys here.
That's my bad.
I honestly think that we haven't arrived here yet. Denver is so much the small market, non-glamour,
I mean, that's true at the beginning of the season.
It is, but usually there's 3 or 4 more, and
Sure.
it's like, okay, who else is going to be there? Is the Kings going to make it through? Is the Jazz going to make it through? Right now, it's the Nuggets and all the biggest glam markets in the NBA.
Right.
I think there's a real chance that Denver gets to be the little engine that could, the team that every other market starts to pull for, because it's like, man, the Nuggets and a bunch of a-holes?
It is kind of funny. It's like the Blue Bloods versus, the Cinderella team in March Madness. Because this is the Kentuckys, the Dukes, the UCLAs. And then you have this one team that has been consistent but hasn't, quite got there. But they're the favorites right now, and that's what's throwing everything off. That's why talking heads are saying crazy things. They didn't actually watch the games, and now they're forced. That game the other day on TNT, they were forced to watch. It's all they could do, So it is, it's good to have that team there. But also, these are not little brothers. This is not like, the team to you have to like put yourself against. This is just a good team, and they have the blueprint.
I think that's some pretty optimistic perspective on what could happen. And
What's that?
well, just like everyone starts to go, oh, Denver, you know what? Like,
Not everyone, because I don't think people in New York or Philly are like the coast are. But I'm just saying, I am this way. When it's a small market like Milwaukee or something, I'm like, oh man, I'm going for Milwaukee to beat
Kings
those.
fans.
That's what I mean.
they'll hop on
That's what I'm
board.
saying is where you get to capture the heartland.
sure.
Totally, man. Totally. I think they have a shot to do it. While Ramona Shelburne will write, like, if the Nuggets could just get out of the way, LeBron is on the brink of history.
Right, exactly.
but-
That is how they talk about it.
Did
though.
you guys see the?
And then it's a math
the piece
problem.
today?
Like-
yeah, math problem. So no, I think you're right. I think first of all, I love it. I love the field that's remaining. I love the opportunity at hand. Since I've moved here, I've bought so hard into, it's not just the Nuggets thing. I get the flyover state mentality thing in a way I never would have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude, I want to play spoiler. Like, I want to ruin this party, man.
Ruin every single round for them,
everything.
like every narrative, every little like, oh well, it's LeBron in the conference finals again, his ascent, and then just kick the hell out of
Right.
him. Like, all right,
Totally.
here we go.
Totally.
I just think it's on the table, man. I'm watching all these teams, and I'm like, the Nuggets are the most interesting, might be the best, all of this, and nobody knows how to talk about them, and it's absolutely hilarious.
No coast bias.
No coast bias, baby, about to take over. All right, guys, it's that time in the show where we open up DraftKings and Dev advises us financially.
It's time to make money. We've been making money this playoff.
Dude, I made a lot of money last round.
Yeah, we
That was
made
a
money
good one.
last
That
time.
was a good one. We're going to do the same thing.
Fine, why
Denver
stop?
comes into this game as 4-point favorites. This is what the line has been the entire time. They just came off of a beatdown. They got beat to sleep, and they're thinking that they're going to bounce back. I don't. I just don't like what I've seen from this Suns team. And if Booker doesn't go for 45, 50, and Durant as well, I just don't see it happening. So I'm going to go -4. I will go
Really?
back to the over 229 in this one. I do think that this would be a better scoring game for Phoenix in particular. And we all know that Denver, they can score with the best of them. So I do think that they match that. So give me the over there.
Okay.
Love it.
On
I'm
Phoenix
with you so
side of
far.
things, Devin Booker for 30.
God damn it.
Easiest bet. He's going to shoot it. He almost got it last time, and that was while shooting like very bad. He's going to shoot better. He's also going to be a more
He didn't
aggressive.
shoot very bad. He shot average.
For
shot
him,
50%.
he's coming off of 50. He's coming off of 40 every game.
That was against normal power.
Yeah, for
Nah.
sure.
Right, he's a lot like Jamal.
That's Jamal.
Yeah.
You know, normal
Very
power
similar
Jamal.
players,
You get it.
yeah.
You get it. I think he's going to go for 40. I really don't like many other things on
Thank
Phoenix's
God.
side.
You hear that? Only one damn bet he has to give us.
It's tough.
On the other side, which
Yeah.
we're not going to take.
Besides, I do think that Durant will get his rebounds. They're too low, 7.5. All right, we're over that. For Denver side of things, we're just going to I like riding waves. I go to Waterworld, I ride the wave.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
just what I do.
Can't get him out of
The wave
Thunder Bay.
I'm going to go Aaron Gordon, points, rebounds,
Yup.
assists.
Man, that's a
the
great
combination.
bet. That's a great
Or
bet.
you could just do the points, rebounds. He really doesn't get assists. He's like always on the other end of that. It's like 22.5 or 21. That's the one that I'll go with. I like that over there. For Jamal, we already know what he does in the playoffs. He arrives. 24.5 is the line. I think he's going to get it. We also could do the combination
On
of,
point. So we're doing. So you think it's over the points for Jamal again?
For sure. I know that they're going to try to throw different looks at him, but I know that they know if they throw doubles at Jamal, it's going to be Jokic. You don't want to lose to Jokic. You just kind of rely on Jamal. You want him to keep doing that. You don't want Jokic to go crazy, and he is. He is going to go crazy. For three-pointers, I just like the idea that we have to just root for one three-pointer. Aaron Gordon,
You're back
right
in
back
it.
to the well.
Wow.
Right back to the well. 0.5. He saw that they're guarding him like that. They're going to say, we'll live with that. He's going to,
You're gonna
he's
die
shoot
with
him.
that. Yeah, die with that.
You live and you die with it. So I'm going to go with the one three-pointer from Aaron Gordon.
Okay, I'll do it.
I also like the combo of points, rebounds, and assists for Jamal. It's super low. Just too low. 35.5.
It's pretty low.
That's low. He could get that in points alone.
He should get that in
We've seen
points.
that. But for the lock,
Oh God, here it comes.
the lock of the game, Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Points and rebounds. We're just going to do that combo
Man.
alone. I just think that it's too easy.
I
And
like the assist tonight from Joe.
I think he'll score more. So then let's do points, rebounds, and assists.
Okay.
Let's get the whole combination, the whole shebang. So that's 47.5.
I
That
feel
is
good
high.
about the rebounds.
That's high, but
Yeah.
we're going to get it. Points,
Yeah.
rebounds, and assists.
I think they're going to overload on Murray tonight. I really do. I think Yoke's 4 on 3 all night long. I think it's points and assists for him tonight.
Yeah, I could see that. You want to hear my winning?
Yeah.
So this 3-leg parlay will net you plus 750.
Okay.
First leg, Aaron Gordon over 16.5 points.
Okay.
Taking it.
You think it happens again? I do too,
Yes.
by the way.
I think he scores 20 points a game in the entire series.
I agree with you. I actually think this is a great series for him.
And then Michael Porter Jr., you've heard of him? Give Mike the rock.
Let's go.
Three pointers made by Michael Porter Jr.
I love this one. You're
because-
speaking my language tonight.
Yes, because I believe Jamal will be in their crosshairs a little bit. Michael Porter Jr., that opens up for both Mikey and Aaron. And then Nikola Jokic over 14.5 rebounds. I'll take that. Just those 3 legs plus 750.
Nikola Jokic rebounds. How many?
I took over 14.5.
Man, that's a lot.
Yeah, you know how many he got last game?
That was a misses.
He missed a lot of miss, though.
well,
That's
let's-
the one that's been a little bit iffy for me.
Okay, well, listen.
I know. I'm with you. I'm going to lower it because I'm a little
Just
bit.
lower it
I'm a
then.
little coward here.
Lower
I'm
it
going to
then.
go to still 11.5 just to boost it up. Yours is way better. Mine's at 525.
That's good.
Mine's like 525. That's a good payout. I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
that risk.
all right. Like, why be greedy, right?
Why be greedy? I'm not going to be.
I mean, I'm greedy. I'm going to take this winning all the way to the bank, literally to the bank.
Well, let's do it. Kale, I'm told we got some super chats in the pregame.
Dude, the ultimate homies.
Road King Thor, Murray and Luca in a custody battle for their son. That's actually pretty good.
There you go.
That's pretty good. Colorado Nugs. Eric, can I get a Jokic jersey, please? Please.
Jesus, calm down, maybe.
Maybe's the answer. Steve May, mathketball.
God damn it.
We got a mathketball problem.
Ish. The Jokic theorem. All right, that's more fun.
The Jokic theorem.
All right.
They've got a Jokic theorem problem.
Big Namek Quesarito calculus.
Quesarito.
They got a Quesarito calculus problem.
That one, I don't know if it's going to hit quite the way we want it to. They got a real quesarito problem. All right, guys. The nerves are settling in. I love it. I haven't been nervous for 48 hours. Honestly, I haven't. I've been like sleeping easy.
I haven't acknowledged that anything's happening.
But now I'm kind of like, oh shit, here we go again. Great opportunity for the Nuggets. We're going to be at the watch along in 5 minutes. Hope to see you guys over there.
Woo, let's go.